visiting Mexico City, and I really don't know why it took me so long to get here. Growing up in Texas, I spent a lot of time in Mexico just crossing the border, but I spent most of my time on the coast, on the beach. And you can see my entire Playa del Carmen series after this if you want to. But I have been pleasantly surprised about how much there is to do, how much life there is, and how enjoyable the city has been, especially for such a large capital city. So it is the capital of Mexico. It's located sort of in the middle of the country. It's also known as Ciudad de Mexico, or CDMX for short. So if you hear people say CDMX, they're referring to Mexico City. It is Mexico, so they do speak Spanish, and their currency is the Mexican peso. But let me tell you why I love it. So when I was working on my city guide for Mexico City, which I have them for all the destinations that I have visited, and you can get them for free down in the description link down below. But when I was working on my city guide for Mexico City and I was giving it a star rating, I really couldn't find a fault with it. So this is actually my very first 5-star digital nomad city as far as my personal rating system goes. Let me tell you why. Okay, so reason number 1 is I mentioned it's a large city. It's actually the 6th largest city in the world if you include like the greater population of Mexico City, and is the most populous in North America. So that means that there is just a lot to do here. Like, you're never going to be bored when you come to Mexico City. Also, fun fact, it is the oldest capital city in all of the Americas. So not just North America, but all the Americas. And it was founded in 1325. So on top of being a very modern, populous destination, it also has a lot of history. And if you've heard anything about Mexico City, it's probably that it's a foodie city, which it is. There are so many restaurants, but on top of that, it also has a lot of culture. So it's actually only second behind London and the amount of museums that are in the city. So you have food, history, culture, plus just a large city with plenty of parks to explore, plenty of stuff to do, and lots of places to eat. Now, when I was flying into Mexico City, I actually flew from Playa del Carmen. So I flew in domestically in Mexico, but the main airport here is the Benito Juarez International Airport. That's the one that most people are going to fly into no matter where you're coming from. Getting here was really simple. There's no vaccines required or anything at the moment that's needed, especially for COVID. They don't have any restrictions in that area. And then once I got here, it was really simple to call an Uber to take me to my accommodation. So I'm staying in Roma Norte, which is about a 30-minute drive from the airport. It's kind of the same Condesa, Roma, Juarez, where I think most digital nomads and visitors stay. It's about 30 minutes from the airport, and an Uber is super easy to take. You can also take the metro or like the subway, or you can also just hail just a normal taxi cab at the airport. But the one thing I was really surprised about at the airport was there was no specific like Uber or rideshare pickup area. I just walked straight out of my terminal that I arrived in, walked out onto the street, and just waited for my Uber there. So that was my arrival experience. It's nice and easy. They do in Mexico, for a lot of nationalities, give 180-day visas, but that is not a blanket visa. So they have been asking people, how long are you staying? How long are you gonna be here? And then giving you a visa based on the amount of time that you stay. So if you really want to stay for a while, stay for that 6 months and tour around Mexico a bit more, be sure that you get a date enough far in the future so that you actually get that 180-day visa when you arrive. But that is it. That is just a little bit about my first experience here in Mexico City and my arrival. Be sure to subscribe and check out my future videos on Mexico City and what it's like to be here as a digital nomad.